So thank you. Hello, everybody. My presentation is the last presentation before lunchtime. My presentation will be a bit different, so I will switch again to English. What my company Dorsum is doing, we are software vendors for the wealth management and for the asset management business. So I will speak about the similar topics like the previous presentations, but from another aspect. I will try to summarize you what kind of trends we see in the wealth management business nowadays. So we talk with a lot of wealth management departments in different banks and different regions across Europe. So a few trends. Definitely when we speak about advisor network, there are a lot of trends about how we can improve the advisor network, and just before here we speak about the speed or the efficiency of the advisors, how they interact with the customer. Also the number of the wealthy people are increasing, maybe not now in Russia, but overall the number of wealthy people are increasing. Definitely the type of assets in the portfolio are also increasing, so they will be more and more complex. And it's an interesting topic, the digitalization. We always say that wealth management business is a traditional business based on personal relationship. And a few years ago on conferences like this, it was a big question mark if digitalization will come into this business. But now, for example, we speak in the UK with some banks who are one of the oldest banks. They don't have a voicemail, for example, and they speak about how they can bring in digital technologies in the wealth management business. So what I brought you today, a bit different type of presentation. The topic of my I would like to recap all these trends into one expression, and this expression is user experience. And I hope with my presentation I can also give you a small user experience. What we will do today, I invite you a small journey. We will start from the Earth. We will take a spaceship and we will fly with this spaceship to a planet where all the happy advisors, the happy wealth managers, and the happy clients of yours are living. So what is this expression, a user experience? Is it something mysterious, or this is something that we can put it in our strategy? I mean, in your strategy and in our strategy in the software business. So if you go to Wikipedia, for example, and you see and you check what is the meaning of user expression. So very basically, the definition of user experience is the feeling when people are interacting with certain tools. And why I speak about this here, there are two levels why I can speak here about user experience. So one level is when your customers are interacting with your services. So definitely the reason why people are putting money into your banks is because they get certain experience from you, and this is the basic of everything. Of course the experience can be improved, and by improving the user experience you can reach something very nice. So you can imagine the guy who is driving this car, what kind of experience he has. But also if something is not working okay, it's very important to identify. If you manage to identify if something is not working okay, and you manage to point out how you can improve that particular service or particular software, you can again reach very nice improvements. But this is a banking conference, so I will switch to the banking topic. I don't know if you see this piece of stone on the right-hand side. So this is actually the first balance sheet 2,000 years before BC from Mesopotamia. So actually this was a huge user experience. So people managed to put numbers in a system and keep for the future. And how we improved in the banking, I just show you the last picture. So this is a brand new branch from M Bank. This is a Polish bank, and they just win the best of show prize in London on Finovate conference. And what they did actually is they prepare special boxes where you can touch the products of the bank, like personal loans, like investments and so on. You can walk into the branch, and they develop some special so-called power screens, like most probably your children are playing with Xbox Kinect. And when the customer is touching a certain product, on the power screen the parameters of the products are coming up, and with the advisor, just by shaking the hands, they can set up and they can tune, for example, the investment or different products. So basically this is where this is in retail banking, and this is in branches. So this is where technology, and this is where technology as a driver can bring very high level of user experience. But what about softwares? So this was again a huge improvement. 20 years ago, the first from Microsoft, the first visual operating system, and this is a screen from Windows 10, which will gives us a full transparent user experience from mobile phone, from tablets to PCs. Okay, this is test drive, and this is, for example, how the user experience improved. But what about wealth management? So what kind of improvements we have in the wealth management, let's say on the software side? So is there an improvement? So can we speak about user experience now? What I can tell you that we on the software side, most probably the requirements are never based on user experience. What kind of requirements we have? Legislation, workflow optimization, new products, new channels, but never, the requirement is never based on user experience. So how can we provide user experience in the wealth management business? So now we'll take the spaceship and we will fly to the other planet. And the fuel tank of this spaceship is full with knowledge and full with technology and full with know-how. So let's see what kind of know-how we have in this spaceship. I just brought you a study which shows that also the big players on the market are investing a lot in user experience. And they say that this study says that investing $1 single in the user experience can return $100. So maybe this is not 100% true for wealth management business, but definitely it's an issue that we should consider. Another topic is information overload. So definitely we and also your customers suffer from information overload. So the study says that 34 gigabytes of information received in a single day, even on this conference, for example. And how you transmit this information to the customer is very important. So by using visual tools, pictures, you can transfer a message in another way to the customer. Also, another study says that 50% of our brain is responsible for visual processing. So I hope I managed to stimulate this 50% of your brain now. And 70% of our sensors are in our eyes. So if we manage to formalize and put everything into the right shape and transmit it to the customer, in less than 1/10 of a second, we can transmit the message to the customer. Just an example, the information on the left-hand side and the right-hand side is exactly the same, just a different presentation. And going to the advisory business. So if also the same study says that if your advisor is only using purely verbal communication, 50% is the chance that the message goes through. But if beside the verbal and beside the verbal communication also visual aids are used, this chance goes definitely higher. And also there is an important trend about omni-channel and multi-channel. So in case of wealth management, we don't speak about all these channels, but definitely the time has come when it's possible that the advisor starts the onboarding of the client on a tablet application, and then he will proceed on a PC, and after that the customer can log into to your system and check the portfolio online from the internet. And of course, what we have in the spaceship, tablets. Everybody's buying tablets, and tablets are everywhere actually. So we have to think about this. So let's take the spaceship and let's go to the planet. So who is here on the planet? My advisor, and why this advisor is happy. So the reason why he's happy, for example, in how he can use these visual tools and all these improvements in the business. For example, in the onboarding process, he can bring a tablet. It's still a personal communication, but part of this discussion, he can involve the customer in creating a personal offer. Of course, at the end, you will offer him one of the predefined portfolio, but still the customer has a different feeling because you involve him or her in this procedure of creating the portfolio, for example, according to his risk category. Okay. Also for the investment service, providing different investments, it's a complex issue, but using, for example, tablets at the end, when the customer is already your customer, a portfolio reconstruction, you can easily execute on a tablet based, and that at the end the client can sign it on a customer. I brought you a few other concepts. most probably you have seen similar screens in your systems, but I would like to highlight an important rule. When we work with our customers, many times we focus, the request of the customer is to develop special things, but they always forget about the rule that 98% of the use cases should be considered. So what your advisors are doing in 98% of the time. So the system should cover that functionality. I give you an example. Most of your advisors work with families. So it should be a must that first, once you work with a single customer, and immediately you should be able to switch to the whole family overview of the portfolio, of the performance, and all the functions that you use in the system. I don't have too much time. Another concept of this, so when I show this picture to people, first they think that this is a chemical stuff from Mendeleev, but actually what is this? This is a visual concept about your clients, and it's a healthiness map. So you can, for example, define certain healthiness conditions, like when I called last time my clients, what is the model conformity, what is the performance of my customer, and immediately, with a single look, I can see that, for example, there are more than 10 customers when there is a problem, and I have to do something with this customer. We just had a talk with the financial authority in UK, and the topic was that how complex the model portfolios, the benchmarks are. And there was a study that when the advisor explains model portfolios to the customer, and there was just an example over here that the advisor thinks that yes, I managed to explain to the customer, but the customer says at the end on the study that no, he thinks that he understands, but not. So just again bringing you a concept about model portfolios. So we have to figure out concepts, how you have to simplify to the customer how certain models can work. Maybe pictures of animals, it's a concept. You have to show that he can lose, but he can also win. If he risks more, he can lose more, but he can win more. So this is how we should visualize complex financial products, basically. And let's leave the advisor and let's see the management. So why the management is happy? Who is our management? KPIs is very important, so the management should see the KPIs on the fly. And there is also a nice concept is about competition in the advisor network. So I don't know if you do similar things. So for example, if you define a transparent competition to your customers, which is not a real competition, just a kind of game, like who brought the more money, who had the most satisfied clients. And if you make this competition transparent to the whole advisor network, it can bring an additional performance, and it can also bring an additional user experience to the whole network. Another concept about performance and KPIs. And the last part about the customer. So why my customer is happy at the end on this planner. When I made this presentation, I did not plan it to Russia here, but he's my client, high net worth individual, Mr. Abramovich. So what about tablets and who are using tablets? We can see that this is a study that says that also the older generation is buying tablets, and actually they are buying more tablets than the young generation. And this is the last topic that I would like to highlight. This is maybe not in Europe or not in Russia, but more and more systems come that provide online advisory or robot advisory and so on. I don't think you should compete with these solutions, but definitely if you check, for example, this is a screenshot from Future Advisor. This says your investments are leaking. I can provide you a Nobel Prize winning strategy in 2 minutes. I don't say it's a competition, but these providers are coming in the future. And we think that also traditional providers should go into that direction, that you have to provide some access to the customer portfolio. You have to give access to the customer to the different investment strategies, and also we think that you have to involve the customer in certain level in rebalancing and reconstructing his or her portfolio. So summarizing my presentation, what we would like to speak, that we think that digitalization and all these digital tools will affect your business, but how they will affect it's by bank, it's a different strategy. Maybe you use tablets in a personal communication, maybe you give online access to the customers. It's really depending on your strategy, but we think that if you put the user experience in the middle of this whole planning and strategy, you can end up to a solution that really gives efficiency, performance, and customer satisfaction and money at the end.